Hey everybody, welcome back to another Stone Face Reactions. I'm Theta, and on one side of me here is Justin, and on the other side of me here is Lessons. Alright, we did it. Successful. Alright, before we get into everything, I got a couple of comments here about episode 1. First up is from Bruce Ingram, who says, the doctor who saved Duncan's life is implied to be one of Osamu Tezuka's other famous creations, besides Astro Boy, the Dr. Blackjack, who himself was saved by a doctor, but left him with his iconic half white, half black hair and scarred face. And then, just as a before we have a response here, a quick follow up to that is Phil Fishers, who says he's even voiced here by Blackjack's regular voice actor in multiple anime, Akio Atsuka, who also voiced Nemo from Nadia. Additionally, Akio Asuka also voiced Pluto in the 2003 Astro Boy.
Interesting.
Now, I know Justin has no idea who Blackjack is, but do you, Lessons?
I seen the image. So I get when you mention it and describe it, I know I haven't seen the anime myself, but I know the character you're talking about.
Yeah, then we both know exactly the same amount. I've seen the cover image of Blackjack, which has got the scar thing around like the side of his face, and then the hair color change matches where the scar is. So yeah, I know nothing else about Blackjack. So I guess that is a really cool authorial insert of characters that I didn't even know existed in the same world, but wouldn't have known otherwise unless the commenters pointed it out.
Yeah.
I do like the the cross. I want to say anime, but series. The cross series integration. It's fun.
Yeah, I think it was since Astro Boy is such an old anime, like from 1963 on up, that it is a show that can pull that sort of thing off more so than shows today. Like I think I've mentioned a number of times now, like Galaxy Express 999 crosses over with like Captain Harlock,
Yeah.
which are two different shows, obstinately. So the fact that they show up in their own thing is sort of a old school anime motif that doesn't really happen that much anymore. Anyway, that has been our comment section. Now we need to get into a good recap. And last time it was Justin, so obviously we're going to lean on to lessons this time. Why don't you tell us what happened
Oh,
last time, lessons?
okay. Let me see. My memory's not that good. But last time we meet two new robots who are basically the equivalent of judo MMA fighters, and they were also participants in the 36 Asian War as well, alongside with Mont Blanc and Adam. But they realize that they're also on the hit list of this enemy who is killing everyone. And so we spent quite a bit of time with them, with the detective, especially one of them, the champion of Turkey, essentially, who does sort of wrestling, style wrestling. And actually has adopted a family, has children that he's adopted. But eventually, the bad guy shows up. He tries to fight. He thinks he's won. It does get a recording of the fight, which is a bit grainy, but ultimately is defeated. And apparently, the bad guy is still very much active. Um, and so that's all I can recall from the video. If anybody else can record from that, please go ahead.
It was what, Heracles and what was the other one?
Uh,
Begins with I want to say Bruno, but I don't think that's correct.
Bruno was his name, but not the champion's name. He had a different name as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have sworn that the guy who's alive at the end of the episode, his name was Heracles.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is accurate.
Right. I knew Bruno sounded familiar too, so I was like, yeah, I think that's right. What do you? Okay. Um, yeah. Also, I guess I apologize for vanishing halfway through that episode, but as I put up on the overlay there, and anyone who's seen the playlist, obviously I've seen that episode before. All I neglected to do was point out the things that I would want to have brought up by the end of the episode, which I think I talked to you two before or
Yep.
after the end of the recording. The whole his arms are in the air, but his chip is there in the center. And since his chip is essentially his head or his brain, it's the same motif with the parts available.
Indeed, indeed.
Yeah.
And then there was the image in the static of what I thought was two guys. I mentioned this to Griff when I we watched it with Griff too before. Um, there's some figure on the side that looks like a humanoid figure, and there's a figure on the other side of him that has like sunglasses. It looks like.
Yeah, I kind of saw what you were saying, but I don't think it's enough detail for me to be like, I agree, that's what's
It's
going on.
really hard to take a still image of moving static. So
It's true.
any still
Very much.
image of that is just gonna look like static.
Deliberately so.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to code your messages, I guess. Other than that, I think you had something you wanted to discuss, Lessons?
Yeah. We've been working on the assumption that the enemy is one or two things. He's a fellow robot that has learned to kill, basically, who's out for a vendetta for some reason, or a cyborg. Now, I think I'm leaning more on the cyborg theory because I believe that the problem with defeating him is not that he's so strong and powerful and mysterious. It's that, as been hammered in all the 3 episodes, except for one robot, no robot is supposed to kill humans. So when they finally meet this guy up front and realize that they're a cyborg, they can't kill him.
So you're thinking like Directive 4 from RoboCop?
Pretty much, yeah.
Just
I
with the
mean,
whole no OCP thing being just the human part.
yeah, being the human part, right? Which also speaks to equality between robots and humans. Humans can kill robots. I mean, it's illegal to do so, but they have the ability to do so. But robots are somehow prevented from killing
Yeah,
humans.
Robbie from episode 1.
Yeah, so they're not technically equal because if a robot has to defend himself against a human, he can only go so far. A human doesn't have that ability, right?
I don't
Human,
remember. Is it hard coded in or is it just like a law?
I don't know. I mean, but it could be a law because there's,
I think it's both.
yeah, I think it's both.
Well, I mean, we already covered the whole. I think you maybe I'm saying we, and it was just something I listened to you two discuss after the fact. But the whole incident thing, right? That you can't prevent a robot by accident killing a person. You can't prevent the laws of the universe, like physics, from happening. Like if
yeah,
a well, I don't need to make an example. I think we all understand what an accident is. But so at that point, is it just a law? Well, then never mind. I forgot. We got what was his name? Gershite 1958 or something like that, who actively killed a human. If they're treating him like that, then I don't think they would just be treating any accidental killing. Because I think they say he's the
yeah,
only
I
robot who's
think
ever
he
killed a
might be
human.
the triggering incident that makes it a hard program.
or vice versa. That he defied his programming and when remember they say they checked his programming and didn't find any fault in his logic in his AI
Yeah, he's a perfect
algorithms.
AI, was what they said.
Exactly. So the decision to kill a human not only made sense to that robot, but it was not detected as a malfunction. So maybe he did have the subroutine or whatever you want to call it, the script and whatnot, but it simply just didn't trigger for some reason.
Yeah.
Which maybe lets me believe that ultimately the person who's going to have to defeat um, this bad guy is going to be Pluto, not because he's stronger but he has a more advanced sense of an AI, right?
Are
He
we
seems to
talking
think
about
more,
Adam or
Adam, yeah.
Pluto?
Pluto's supposed to be the
Yeah.
enemy, I suppose. Adam is going to be the one defeating him because he's supposed to have a an elevated sense of humanity, I suppose. He's more advanced, and so he could probably rationalize the taking of life. And they're also setting him up as the innocent person. Yeah, he fights and all that, but he doesn't. He was the one that came at the end of the war, didn't see all the death and destruction, right? The others fought the battles, and then Adam came at the end. And considering that this series seems to subvert expectations, like, oh, you think this is one way or the other, having Adam at the end kill Pluto might be the sort of the ultimate irony and the breaking of innocence of him because they present him like his little kid, right?
I don't know. It's funny you say subvert expectations when I think we got three levels of expectations at play here. Not just because we're three different people, but obviously, I watched the two-part version of this from 1963 with no subtitles because there weren't any. So I've seen visually what the story is, no idea the text or the subtext or anything. So I've got that expectation. You're coming in pointing the wrong way. You're pointing. You're coming into this with whatever expectations you could garner from any anime you've watched in the past, and likewise media, and versus Justin over here, who's new to anime, and as we've learned so far in our watchings, a lot of media too. So completely different expectations, I assume.
Oh yeah,
I mean, heck, you were saying Astro Boy's enhanced, was it enhanced sense of humanity? You said,
Yep.
yeah,
Or greater sense of
im-
humanity.
yeah. The moment you said that, I immediately just thought of Mega Man because the reason Mega Man fights is his enhanced sense of justice. So
yeah,
it's like one for one.
yeah.
Well, any other thoughts we have on our minds before we head into this episode?
Really.
Not about the episode, but I'm not feeling so well. So if there's at any point where I jump off and come back, that is why.
Got it.
Totally noted.
All right. Well, I say we go ahead and get into it then while we still got three people on screen. But before we get started, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can check it out over on the Patreon. Just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra. A little bit of
If
an
we were
80s
being
guitar riff.
really hyper focused, we would pay attention to these opening letters.
Well, we mentioned that before. That literally probably spoils everything if we knew who these people were. Like, there's one guy who keeps appearing that obviously I would assume me and Lessons know who it is. Although that was vague enough that I'm sure even an audience member doesn't know who the hell I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
下がって危険です下がってください被害は中村課長信じられませんよいくら局地的な竜巻とはいえ被害がトラック1台だけだなんて
God damn those localized tornadoes.
Localized tornado. Yep.
ライオン、トラ、チーター合わせて5頭もなんだと大変です中村課長子供が
That would be terrifying.
なんとかならんのか
I mean, it's quite literally a Harambe situation, isn't it?
5頭を同時に処分しないとどうなるかくそ射撃官をもっと呼べなんだ少女が1名非常線の中へ何やってんだ
Okay, that's how we introduce her.
怖くないよ
Okay.
怖くないからみんなおいでそうそう怖くない
She must be a robot. If not, she crazy.
That's the thing about this world, right? It's hard to tell. For some robots, obviously.
Did she just release pheromones?
幼児保護しました
I don't think so, because it's raining. It's literally how you
だからみんなが怖がるのよ
subvert air scattered shit.
ウラン
まったくも
怖がってるのを感じた
Like I said, I'm not going to say anything until the show says something.
そらあれかいウラン
Love it.
ライオンやトラが怖がってたってことかい
I mean, yeah.
わかんないけど
それで君は通学路から3キロも離れたあの現場までやってきたってわけ。
そうだけど
そんな遠くから 君は動物が怖がってるのを感じるの？
まあね。
Okay.
すごい能
I'll
力
say
だ
this,
ね。
not the attitude I thought this character was gonna have.
もう帰っていい？
おお。
すみません中村課長。
There you go.
妹がお騒がせして。
Yeah,
Astro Boy's
she is a
sister.
ro-
世話になったのはこっちの
Got
方なんだ。
Again, I've seen her 1963 counterpart, which might be a product of 1963's women, right? In media. So, not the attitude I thought she was gonna have.
白くないわよ。
Got it.
うら。
どうせもらうならあのライオンがいいな。
すみません。失礼します。
課長、例の方がいらっしゃいました。今エントランスの方に
何？たわし警視は
連絡しました。
よし。
うら。
Okay.
I'll also say I went from episode 1 to the two-parter, which is like 170 episodes later.
ちょっと。
So, suddenly Astro Boy has a sister at some point.
いえ、僕たちはこっちです。
そうなの？最近本当にわからなくなってきたな。
What you were saying earlier.
こちらから。
Yeah.
Well, I guess robot segregation is a thing.
That's not a human.
No. Ooh.
I mean, I guess to be fair, neither are
ちょっとお
they.
兄ちゃん聞いてる？うん。だからね、私は寄り道なんかしたわけじゃなくて、ほんと大変だったの。
おお。これは。わざわざお越しいただき、私警視庁の田橋と申します。ナイスチューミーチューミスター。おい、翻訳機が。はい。
I would say this guy might be a machine, but this dude made us sound like a breaking robot.
おお。
Yeah.
こちらは中央アジア最高の頭脳だな。
Central. Okay, greatest intellect.
殺風景なところで申し訳ありませんが、油博士。
いや、日本はどこも素晴らしい。私の母国、今のペルシアと比べたら。
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, Central Asia Wars. We knew where he was.
世界
Yeah.
の会議が東京で開かれますので。
ところで油博士、3ヶ月ほど前にも来日なされてますね。
ええ。
その際、
Okay.
学者の田崎純一郎氏にお会いになってますね。
知らせを聞き驚きました。なぜ彼のような立派な方が殺されなければならなかったのか。
あなたは田崎氏に最後に会われた人物です。
Now we just need to find out that you were in Germany and Switzerland.
じゃありません。事件
Yep.
はあなたが空港から飛び立たんとしている時に起きたのですから。ただ何か変わったことがあればと。
素晴らしいお話をたくさん聞かせていただいた。田崎先生は国際ロボット法の発案者です。あの方は心から願ってらっしゃいました。ロボットと人間の共存を。
Don't like the menacing
人
cutbacks.
間が思ってるよりいろんなこと考え
Yeah.
てるよね。
I mean, it could be like in the first episode where we thought that I thought that the guy in the cape was also menacing, and he wasn't. So,
データを通さないと判断つかないって
but then why pretend to be a human
す
if
ぐわかるよ。人間
maybe he is, maybe he isn't?
I don't know. Our two mains here pretended to be human.
さっきの人。
さっきの人？
さっきゲートですれ違った人。わからなかった。人間かロボットか。
ご協
サイボ
力
ーグ
ありがとうございました。
いえ、あまりお役に立てず。
こら、スイッチは切っておけと言ったろ。はい。博士は
先の戦争で体のほとんどを失ってしまいましたからね。
The cyborg.
失礼しました。
Also showing off that this sensor thing is faulty too.
Yep.
Because they didn't detect him going in or Astro Boy and Urun going out.
No, but they went through the non-human one.
No, I'm sure they went through the human one.
No.
They went through the human one both.
Yeah. They all went through the human one. That's why I said that they were lying the same as he was.
No, they were about to go through the non-human one. The cop stopped them and said, "No, wait a minute. You just like no, we're right. We're supposed to go to the robot one."
So, no, you are correct with that, Lessons. What I got from like the pass by was even though our new character went through the human side, Astro Boy picked up through like the wall.
Yeah.
ライオンはね、とても怖がると恐怖心を隠すの。でも今、一番怖がってるのはお兄ちゃん。
She just called them out. What the?
Pluto.
It's been 3 episodes since we've seen her. Or 2, rather. 2 episodes.
そんなに自分を責めないで。
なあヘレナ、旅行に行こ
旅行？
You want to
う。
adopt
この前
about
話し
6
ただ
kids?
ろ。
でも休暇なんて。
一応ロボット襲撃事件は解決したと上も見ている。
そうね。いい気晴らしになれば。
なるさ、きっと。日本なんてどうだい？
日本？
この前仕事で行ったけどいいところだったよ。
任せるわ。
はい、マルコポーロ観光です。
以前お世話になった
ゲジヒト様ですね。
また申し込みたいんだけど。
ありがとうございます。
妻と二人で日本へ。
承知しました。
じゃあまずは妻の登録をしなく
I
ちゃ
would say
いけ
the
ないね。
only thing
いえ、
that's kept in
奥
line
様もすでに
with the
登録されて
original.
いますが。
That mean
妻はユーロ連邦から出たことはないはずだが。
cheat on me, woman?
以前にお二人ともご登録なさって、その後キャンセルされています。
キャンセル。
Oh, the dream, right? The nightmare.
2年前です。同じく日本へのご旅行を。
2年前に日本。
So she a robot
What?
actually then, who had her memories
2
erased?
年前って言えば。
Because obviously she wouldn't have. She would remember if she's human.
君とスペインに行ってた。
そうね。丸1年マドリードに。ほら、写真だっていっぱい。
あ
Here's
あ、
that picture
これ
when
は
you
聖
murdered
家族
that
協会
guy.
だ。
こっちはアンダー。
Okay, this is
この時、君が転んで、ひまわりに埋もれて見えなくなって。
そうそう。あなた慌てて GPS まで使って探したのよね。
しかしたくさん撮ったな。
Or did you?
that's the question.
Yeah, the whole fact that memory is mutable.
多すぎない。
ああ、人真似とはいえ、いつもはこんなに写真を撮らない。
Okay, so she's a robot. Okay.
楽しかったな。
とても。
そんな時に僕らは日本に旅行しようとした。
Oh, is it all gonna be covering something? Like it's really them, but the foreground and the background are all altered. Like they're
Probably.
smiling, doing this, and it's like a blood-coated floor and everything.
ありがとう、ホフマン博士。
I'm trying to get this out real quick. What I was trying to say before is that the only stuff that's happening in sequence to the old 1963 version is the order of the fights.
Okay.
Everything else is new and added in and happening in different orders. So the only thing I can expect is what the next fight would be.
人間の記憶ってものは便利なものでね、忘れるって機能があるんだ。辛い記憶を溜め込んでいくと生きていられなくなる。で、忘れるわけさ。
Something's up with the scientist.
だがロボットの場合、そうはいかない。いつまで経っても記憶は鮮明だ。
I only doubt that because I'm pretty sure this is the guy that made him.
博士。私のメモリーが消去された記録はありませんか？
いや、そんなデータはないよ。
では、事実と違う記憶を入れた痕跡は？
嘘の記憶を入れるってことかい？
ええ。
かつては強制施設でそんなこともあったみたいだけど、今やロボットにも人権があるしね。
Yeah, the mind wipe thing from Babylon 5.
誰かが私の記憶を消去し、別の記憶を入れたとしたら、それが悪夢の原因だ。
How would you even be able to tell what false memories were like in a file?
I think you...
It would
I
just
don't
all
You
be
can
data.
tell. Yeah, but the problem is when you download something, essentially what you're doing is replicating data, and usually they're attached bits of script to it, right?
Well, I
So
guess
even
it would
if the
be a file modified date sort of thing. Doesn't match all the files around it.
That's clearly a yes.
But it also shows that he didn't do it.
ゲジヒトほどの高性能ロボットがあと何台ある？は？大量破壊兵器になり得るロボットは
I think I know what happened.
全部で7体ありました。
そう。今回の事件ですでに3体。モンブラ、ノース2号、ブランドが破壊された。
Oh, Brando. Brando.
No, Bruno, yeah.
そのうちの1体がゲジヒトだ。
局長、質問の答えになってません。彼に何かしたんですか？彼の人工知能に。
ゲジヒトには莫大な金がかかっているんだよ。彼のメンテナンスをしてくれていればいいんだ。それでいいんだ。
Well, I don't know if they said it before, but you got the number now. 7.
True.
一体何を隠しているんですか
7 is the number of the world's greatest robots.
この角はやはり例の殺人事件と同一犯か。どうもね、ゲジヒト刑事。いえ、これは模倣犯ですね。なぜわかる？犯人はハイブリッドスニーカーで足跡を消そうとしていますが、至るところに移動した跡がある。体重78キロ、身長175センチ。何よりあの引き出し、犯人はあのつまみに手こずって一瞬手袋を外している。
Oh.
Yeah, there was no evidence that a human was at the scene of the last
例
crime.
の事件に似せた物取りということかね。ええ、おそらく。やっぱりすごいな。君は完璧だ。完璧。休暇中なんだって。呼び出してすまなかった。助かったよ。フェルゼン刑事。ん？あなたとお会いしたのはこれが2回目ですよね。おいおい、ロボットの君の方が記憶は正確だろ。3年前のザルツブルクでの事件、あの時も見事な捜査だった。3年前。ああ、君が第39次中央アジア紛争から戻って間もない頃だ。いろいろと現地の状況を聞かせてもらったよ。あの晩あなた、カールのバーでビールを7杯飲んだ。なんだ、よく覚えているじゃないか。
Like we're in some sort of memento situation.
久しぶりにお会いできて嬉しかったです。私もだ。今度またゆっくりと。
Yeah, he's lying too.
3年前の記憶は
第39次中央アジア紛争終結から4年、ペルシアにも民主主義が定着しつつあります。
第39次中央アジア紛争か。
Could you be hiding in a more creepy fashion? He's Blair Witching in the corner.
いねえよ。ここにはテロリストなんかいねえよ。ここにいたのは子供だ。お前らは寝てる俺の子供に爆弾を落としたんだ。
Oh, that's rough.
何が抑圧された民衆を救うだ。子供を殺すことがお前らの正義か。お前も人間ならわかるだろう。俺がどんな気持ちかわかるだろう。
私はロボットだ。
やめないか。
Yeah, geez, that's...
彼は絶望だよ。君には理解不能な感情かもしれんがな。
絶望。
That's where a good voice actor work really elevates the quality of the
4年
medium.
前の記憶も
Mhm.
Yeah, get somebody who can cry really well, because really gets you hurting for the scene.
Really sells the idea that he's in pain, yeah.
ごめんごめん。昨日買ったばかりなんだよ、母さん。
ハンス、
うちもメイドロボット買おうよ。クラスで持ってないの僕んちだけ。
ハンス。母さんは一生懸命働いているんだ。言葉に気をつけなさい。それに食事中はゲーム禁止だ。
はい。
Don't be a brat, Hans. Come on.
あ
Yeah.
なた今日はどうするの？
ん？
お兄さんの命日でしょ。引き取りに行くんでしょ。痛い。
ああ、今日3年経ったからね。
それにしても
Why would you wait 3 years to collect his body?
I don't
法律で
know.
定められてるんだ。犯罪者の遺体は3
そうは
年間保存される。
There
仕
you go.
方ないさ。最低の人だったからね。でもね、少なくとも僕にはいい兄貴だった。ちゃん
I
と
would love that to be the
入れて
future
あ
of
げようと。
iPads.
あんな兄貴でもね。
Just fold up my iPad, put it in my pocket. Let's go.
昨夜ベルリン市内のホテルで爆発が起き、
I dislike phones being as much as they are. I don't want those kinds of iPads in the future.
ロボット判事として注目を浴び、グライフェルト被害者訴訟等で画期的な判決を下したことでも知られていました。なお、爆発の原因は現在捜査中で、鑑識部による。
いや、おはようアドルフ。
ニュース。
Popular name in this new Germany, huh?
何のことだね。
ロボット判事が死亡。いや、破壊されたそうですね。
機械にしよう。
機械にしよう。
機械にしよ
No, I heard you the first
Okay.
time.
Oh,
にしよう。
The first, and that's why we don't get a maid.
Yep.
okay. Now that little town in the middle of the city is more creepy than anything else.
I don't know.
100%.
I think it makes sense. That whole future of having like mega gardens on top of skyscrapers, the whole thing. I think it's just a super extension of that.
同意なさいますね。
はい。
ではこちらにサインを。
兄の遺体見なくてもい
Is
い
his
ん
brother
です
gonna be
よ
a cyborg or something?
ええ
損傷度から言っておすすめはしません。
I think his brother is going to be partially robotic.
発砲は適正に行われました。
It was lawful and appropriate. Jeez. That's a thing to say to a brother. No, he got it coming, basically.
承知しました。
He gonna open it.
ドクター・シラーのとこ
承知しました。
ろへ。すみませんドクター、急に伺って。
遺体を見てほしいって兄さんのかい？
はい。
Oh, this is a nice conspiracy we have here. He knows doctors, etc.
お別れか。
Yep.
これはドクター。
Or is it going to be it's a complete robot in there, and this dude didn't realize he's a robot the whole time?
Or empty.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
This could go 100 different ways. If I'm a robot, how do I have a son?
いや、なんでもない。
He is bitter.
こういう場所にもロボットが。私たちと同じように考えてるって言うけど、本当かしらね。
Which then explains self-hating robots.
そういうことをあまり大声で言わない方がいい。差別になるよ。世界ロボット人権法の下ではね。もう一件用事を済ませてから帰る。先に戻っててくれ。
ええ、気をつけてね。
武装強盗事件発生。犯人は複数。戦闘用重装甲車で逃走中。犯人グループ N6 を突破。
こちらゲジ人、回り込みます。
Military vehicles versus... Okay.
逃走車両確認。 SAAW 発砲許可願います。
許可。
仕留めたか、ゲジ人。
Cool, destroyed your jacket though.
両手を頭の上に。
動くと発砲する。
見事だゲジ人。特殊対戦車砲か。いや、あんな重装甲車だとこの弾丸でなければ。何なんだそれは。特殊合金ゼロニウム弾です。
But now it's something we know he's capable of.
Yep.
I mean, he was in the war, so.
諸君、私の望みはこの地上から最後の一体までロボットを消し去ることである。あの忌まわしい機械どもに思い知らせようではないか。私は諸君らに約束する。世界ロボット人権法の廃止。警官ロボットの廃止。
This is going to mean nothing to y'all, but I will get a kick out of it if this guy used to work at a circus. Probably that's one for the commenters.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did it, because that was where Astro Boy was sold to, right?
Once again, I say nothing until the show says something. Except for that thing that I actually just said.
Yeah.
すまん、待たせたんで。
Yeah, I had this meeting with these fanatics. But no, we can talk now.
You might have noticed all the zig howls that were going on outside.
Yeah.
兄の遺体を引き取りました。ああ、例の。兄は殺されても仕方のない人間でした。ただ粉々なんです。粉々？人に使用してはいけない武器が使われた。あれほどの損傷を与える銃弾を撃てるのはロボット以外にないと。なんだと？それが本当なら大問題だ。はい。ロボット法第13条。
Oh.
ロボットは人間を傷つけたり
殺したり
Yeah, that's the whole not be able to part
その
that's
銃弾を
confusing.
撃てるロボットは世界に数体しかいない。その銃弾とは特殊合金ゼロニウム弾です。なるほど。
Shite,
そ
how
の
you
ロボ
how
ッ
you
ト
been
なら
killing?
知っている。ゲジヒト刑事ユーロポールが過去最大の資金を投入し作り上げたロボットだ。これまで数々の難事件を解決している。第39次中央アジア紛争でも平和維持軍として活躍した。もし君の兄さんがこいつに殺されたのだとすれば、
Okay.
考えるだにおぞましい。兄は
I know this
兄
guy.
は最低の人間でした。
I saw him for half a second traveling at 60 miles per hour down the road the other direction.
粉々にされる言われはない。その通りだ、アドルフ。力を貸してください。私にこいつを破壊する
Look, the
力を。
world is dying to know this guy's last name.
Yes.
久しぶりだな。あの戦争以来だ。この戦闘スーツはメンテナンスはまあ一応何しろ大っぴらに行動できなくて戦闘スーツを持ち出すなんてすまんな。無茶なこと頼んで。いや長い付き合いだから。だけどさ、あんたはどうするんだ。バレたら資格剥奪されるよ。もういいんだ。え？俺は引退する。
Oh yeah, no, this guy's more worried about his life at this point.
やっぱり軍用は違うな。試合用スーツとは馬
Oh,
力
they're
が
calling him
桁外れ
Hercules now.
ああ、左腕の出力が若干弱いな。わかった。調整しとくよ。太陽が2つ。ああ、ヘラクレス。
先日もロボット警官がゼロニウム弾を使用
What
し
the
ました
hell?
ね。どうですか
Yeah,
ユーロポ
that's
ー
the
ルの
problem
ワ
when the
ーナー
sun
報道
comes to
官。
kill you.
ええ、
Yeah.
装甲車に対してですがね。
Like, pointedly, though,
人間に
not
当た
a
れば
tornado.
粉々ですよ。使用には本部の許可が必要ですし、確実に人命は保護されています。間違いはあるだろう。いえ、確実に人命は。このゼロニウム弾を撃てるロボットは何体あるんだね。
Didn't answer that question.
Nope. Actively chose not to.
どうだね。我々が仕掛けた番組だ。メディア戦略は着々と進んでいる。時間がかかりますね。焦ることはない。最終的にゲジヒトを吊るし上げられればいい。ゲジヒトのスケジュールを調べました。奴は数日後長期休暇に入ります。時間がないんです。彼がどこへ逃げようが我々は球団の手を緩めない。しかし焦れば君のお兄さんの素性が世に出る。はっきり言うがね、私から見ても君のお兄さんがやったことには吐き気を催す。そんな事実が世に出たらロボット排斥どころか世論は逆に動く。分かってくれるな。
I'm curious how long and how widespread this anti-robot campaign is.
I don't know. There's got to be a difference between a anti-robot rights front and them, because they're literally just an anti-robot front.
Uh-huh.
大丈夫か。このエネルギー反応は光子エネルギー。
I can't imagine a future like this where Luddites would still have a...
エプシロン。
Okay.
初対面にしては手荒な挨拶だな。
申し訳ありません。ただあなたを止めなくてはと思って。
止める？
生きているんでしょう。モンブラン、ノース2号、そしてブランドを破壊した敵。
お前も狙われているんだぞ。
知っています。
ならなぜ止める？
戦うのはやめてください。
平和主義か。 その調子であの戦争の徴兵も拒否したのか。
あの戦争には義がなかった。
義がない。
This might be a case of my
あれだけ
faltering
大量
memory,
のロボットが破壊されていたのにか。
but I do not remember this guy at all
お
either.
前は怖がっているだけだ。それに理由をつけているだけだ。
Well, for
ええ
like this is his first
怖い
appearance in the
ですよ。
series now.
Right, but I mean from
そのせい
1963.
で随分ひどい待遇で戦後処理をさせられたらしいが。
Bless you. Again.
世界中から罵声を浴びました。あなたたち英雄とは違ってね。でもおかげで大事なものを手に入れました。
大事なもの。
たくさんの繊細孤児と出会い、その子たちを引き取って育てています。
聞いてるよ。ロボットが人間を育てて、またまた非難の的だがな。
You talking about Brando did the same thing. I mean Brando.
愛情ってやつか。
But remember, he's not the thirst mutilator.
あなた方もあの戦争で手に入れたものがあるでしょう。憎しみっていうやつですか。私は思うんです。人間とロボット
Yeah, again, they're showing us a robot who has kids around him. He's gonna die.
良くないことが起こる。私は思うんです。これは最初の兆し。
兆し。
断ち切らなくてはならない。憎しみの連鎖を。
こりゃどえらいブツだぜ。中央アジア紛争で使われたが、今は製造も販売も中止になってる。小型クラスター砲、いわゆる誘導ロケット砲だ。ロックオンした標的に飛んでいき、確実に着弾。体内で破裂してロボットだって粉々さ。おっと、気をつけてくれよ。民間人は持ってるだけで殺人未遂だからさ。
殺さないよ。人はね。
I don't know, I'm still rather dubious about any claim of can't miss.
子供の
Yeah.
ロ
What
ボ
if he
ットの普
dodges?
及によっ
What if he
て
jumps around a
生
corner?
産効率は飛躍的に向上し、その一方、いわゆるロボットリストラで失業者が街にあふれた。父もその犠牲者の一人だった。
Okay.
じゃあ、なんか食うか。
チェまたサンドイッチだけか。ステーキ食べたいな。
バカ、無茶言うなよ。
何かいい仕事見つかったかな。
見つからないからああやって探
See,
してん
that's
だよ。
sanity to me. I take a hamburger or steak any day.
心配すんなって。
ねえ、母さんいつもど
Strong disagree.
And we already had a comment about my unrefined palate.
大丈夫だ。
That was
心配すんな。
an episode ago.
ボール欲しいな。
Yo, you're breaking that man's heart with those comments.
ほら、ボールだ。
I beat up those two kids. Here you go.
どうしたのこれ。
いいから、いいから。遊べ。
I went up and I broke the kids' noses. Here you go.
Well, we already know his brother turns into a criminal, so
この人です。店からボールを盗んだのはこの人です。
俺じゃねえ。何もしてねえ。
この人です。この人です。
悪かったよ。見逃してくれ。
so I guess the idea of dignity is kind of
Those
absent
were
here
the-
from the robot cop.
Those are the loudest cops ever.
Though I guess there might be an element of public shame involved in this whole arrest procedure.
3ヶ月後に屋上から飛び降りた。
兄ちゃん。
アドルフ、これ欲しがってたら。ほら。
ポータブルキムナジウム。兄ちゃん、その腕。
ぶち殺してやったよ。
殺し？
ロボットだよ。奴らは俺たち人間を殺せないが、俺たちはロボットを殺してもいいんだ。
There's
Yeah,
no
that's
point.
good early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
勉強しろ、アドルフ。
Also, can't get more of an 80s shirt than that.
ロボットのいない世界を作れ。
imagine we're gonna have to see something to show us why he hates his brother so much.
Yeah.
郊外へ尾行に気づかれたか。
It's a very high likelihood he did.
チャンスかもしれない。何をしている。今か。
Oh, right. Now I remember that guy.
君がエプシロンか。
急にお呼び立てして申し訳ありません。
いや、データでやり取りするような内容じゃないからね。
私たちの敵に逮捕権があるのはあなただけだ。
敵はブランドとの戦いで死んだ。ユーロポールもそう公表している。
信じているんですか、それを。ヘラクレス
No,
を
of
止め
course
な
not.
ければ、決闘などという最悪のシナリオを阻止しなければ、あなたもですよ。
言われるまでもない。私は警察官だ。
このままではまた戦争が始まる。二度と戦争をやってはいけない。私が引き取った子供たちの
The
ような
war must
経験を
never occur again.
二度とさせてはいけない。
Okay? Good
知っ
luck.
ていますか？一般にはペルシア戦争シンドロームと呼ばれていますが、
ああ、戦争の衝撃が精神に深い傷を与えた。
私のところにも症状のひどい子が何人もいます。特にその中の一人の
PTSD.
子。
Got it.
彼の村は一
Well, to
瞬
be
にして
fair,
消
like
失
every
しました。
generation calls PTSD something
彼一
different.
人だけ生き残り、すべて
Yeah.
が消え失せたのです。その子の脳裏に焼き付いたもの。砂漠に向かって動いている巨大な何か。その子は未だに一つの単語しか発しません。
Pluto.
Heracles.
その時、
Hercules.
その物体が発していた奇妙な音。
ポラ
Oh,
And everybody was wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, at Adam's house.
どうした？早くしないと遅刻だぞ。
ねえお兄ちゃん、何か感じなかった？
何か？
何かこう小さな動物が家に帰れなくてブルブル震えてるみたいな。
またか。
私探してくる。
学校どうするんだよ。
うまいこと言っといて。
たくも。
That's gonna lead to something more important.
You use that statement as the insult to any robot in this show.
なんだこれ。
Or Spock.
下手くそな絵ね。
What'd you feel?
ねえ、死んでるの？泣いてたの？
Probably not dead.
あなた。
I don't know, he's giving all the responses a dead person would
大
give.
変。知らせなきゃ。
待って。
Nah, never mind.
大丈夫よ。今誰か呼んでくる。お茶の水博士って何でも直してくれる人。
いいんだ。
よくないわよ。このままじゃ死んじゃうもん。
このままにしておいて。
ダメだってば。
人間を呼ばないで。
じゃあ何が必要？エネルギーの形式は？
SOL208355。
そんなエネルギー聞いたこと
Everyone
ない。
got those numbers right. We're gonna remember those.
純正じゃないけど。
代わりになるのね。わかった。買ってくる。そこでじっとしてるのよ。大丈夫？体に合わなかった。
Oh, my drinks come in bullet-shaped capsules.
ありがとう。おかげで元気になった。
よかっ
Oh,
た。
he looks familiar.
おじさん、名前は
わからない。
どこから来たの？
何もわ
Does
か
he?
らない。
Am
覚
I
えてい
forgetting
るの
something?
は裸のまま必死に走ってここへ何かから逃げて、
何かから逃げて。
なんだかわからないけどすごく怖いもので、向こうに小屋があった。
再開発工事の作業小屋ね。
そこで服を盗んだ。
それでサイズが合ってないんだ。
ほんとだ。
やっと笑った。私、
ウランか。
ねえ、この絵、おじさんが描いたの？
ああ、小屋にペンキがあったんだ。
おじさん、絵描き？
わからない。
I'm wondering what it is.
Looks like
Did
a
he
fight.
paint it?
Like an explosion right there, blasting off to the
抽象
right.
画って言うんだよ。
抽象画。
ロボットってさ、
Or a storm?
見たものを克明に描けるじゃ
Tornado,
ない？
you mean?
ロボットがこういう絵を描くのって珍しいよね。もしかしてただ下手なだけだったりして。
かもな。自分でも何を描いているのかわからない。なぜこんな絵を描いたのか。わからない。
I
I
think
don't
he's
know.
one of the 7.
I don't know. I'm gonna say probably Central Asian War 39 or whatever.
おじさん、
Since everything seems to come back to that.
いや、ウラン、
何やってんの？
花を見てたんだ。
花？あ、昨日は草だけだったのに。あ、そうだ、また買ってきたよ。エネルギー触媒。それと絵の具。
絵の
あのペンキだけじゃ色が足りないんじゃない？
I don't think you should be encouraging him to relive his nightmare that he just escaped from.
おじさん、
True.
大きい服持ってきたよ。
描けたよ。
It has the feel of like
何を描いているかわかったよ。
a little girl who found a stray dog and is trying to take care of it, and then the dog turns around and bites him, sort of thing.
Yeah.
歌なんかじゃないよ。だって涙が出てるもん。
ありがと
Okay.
I still think he was painting like a war scene,
ウラン、
and then he painted flowers over top of it.
お兄ちゃん、
おはようって早すぎないか？
そうかな。
また行くんだろ。
ああ、猫を見つけて可愛くて。
エネルギー触媒の空ボトル。猫がこんなもの飲むのか？お前のランドセルに入ってた。
Yes, it's a robot cat.
なんで私のランドセル覗くのよ。
宿題手伝ってって言ったままベッドに入っちゃったの誰だ？
猫型ロボットよ。
Boom.
科学省に通報した方がいい。
ダメよ。
故障してるんならお茶の水博士に見てもらわないと。型番は？
型番なんてわからないわよ。
日本製じゃないのか？どこの国のロボットだ？
とにかく今はまだ怖がってるの。やっと懐いてきたとこなのにまた逃げ出しちゃうよ。もう大丈夫って思ったらお兄ちゃんにも会わせるから。それまでね、お願い、黙ってて。
Oh God, they're gonna kill her. She's not gonna survive this.
I agree with that statement. Or him. One of the two.
お兄ちゃん。おじさん。おじさん、どこ？やだ。
I mean, we are about an hour in, and so far this would be the only episode without a fight in it.
おじさん。
But I don't think there's gonna be a fight.
ああ、私があげた服、もうこんなに汚しちゃってんの？ねえ、聞いてんの？
僕が何のために生まれてきたか。
え？
これ見て。
どうしたのこのお花畑。
見ててごらん。
That's sick.
すごい。枯れかかってた
It's
花
in
が咲
fact
いた。
the opposite of that.
何この力。
これが僕の本当の力。
As it turns out, I'm Robot Jesus.
だからこの絵を描いたのね。
わからない。ただそういうイメージがメモリーの中にかすかに残っていた。
すごいよ。あなたって命を吹き込めるんだもん。
命、僕らも死ぬのかな。
死ぬ？
僕を助けてくれた時、君は言ったよね。このままじゃ死んじゃうって。
電子頭脳が壊れるってことでしょ。壊れ方によっては二度と
I mean, it
再
seems
生できないって
implicit that his power wouldn't work on robots
思って
either.
も別のロボットだって。
He's
Yeah.
a robot that can only
それは
heal.
死ぬってこと。
And it seems that it also uses his energy.
死ぬってどういうこと
Which I guess would imply that he saved someone or tried to.
だけどもう一つのイメージ。死の世界。
死の世界？
命はない。
Oh, but look at that. That thing that we keep coming back to.
なんだこれは。このとてつもなく大きなものはなんだこれは。怖い怖い怖い。
おじさん落ち着いて。大丈夫。私がついてるから。怖くない。大丈夫。え？
ボラ。
ボラ。
So a small child and a robot in Japan, both saying Borat.
思ったより早かったじゃないか。税関は無事通過できたんだね。
問題ありません。現在最後に竜巻が発生した付近です。
なかなか広い公園で大変だろうが。
ご心配なく、博士がこの体をくださったので。
Cool robot
回
bugs,
収
just
作
what the
業は
world
損
needed.
傷など与えぬよう慎重に行ってくれ。彼も私が作った体だからね。回収対象物の型番をもう一度言う。SOL20835553。名前はプルート。
So we met Pluto then? And he's a painter that heals things.
発見しました、アブラ博士。
そうか。迎えに行くよ、プルート。
Ew.
おじさんならできるよ。世界中をこの絵みたいにするの。
この絵みたいに。
そう、世界中をお花畑にしちゃうの。
What, devoid of all life except for flowers?
生まれたんだよ。
It's like a genie's wish when you're talking to these robots.
Is it possible that Pluto's powers are not just creation, but also destruction?
I suppose so.
違うな。
違うって？
植物園なんかじゃない。違うんだ。
I mean, how about the fact that Pluto is remembering a thing from the war that he is afraid of?
もっと？
もっと大きい本当の自然を。
竜巻。
Yeah, these abilities are too coincidentally similar.
I mean, I think he is. I mean, he called him Pluto, so yeah, I think he is the enemy. The question is was he acting in his own accord now?
That I don't think
Yeah,
is
'cause,
the
like,
case.
nothing he's done is ringing like this is the enemy action.
そいつから離れるんだウラン。そいつの周りに異常な電磁波が渦巻いてる。
お兄ちゃん、
ウラン、早くこっちへおいで。
お茶の水博士まで。
僕が頼んで来てもらったんだ。科学省の人たちに。
お兄ちゃんひどい。誰にも言わない約束したじゃない。
今はそんなこと言ってる場合じゃない。そのロボットは何か危険だ。
位置につきました。
We've been here the whole time.
位置につきました。
警察まで。
博士、
誰が警察を呼べと言った。規定に従って通報しました。警視庁の中村です。大丈夫ですか。
ひどい。ひどいよ。アトム兄ちゃん。
とにかくウラン、早くこっちへ。
And here comes the change.
Can he do the reverse? Ah, never mind. I thought he was gonna pull in all life force into him.
Okay. This is the result of trauma.
Yeah, even robots get Persian War syndrome.
これはどうしたんですか、博士。こんなことが。電子頭脳がない。
Okay.
You think the lightning took it and sent it somewhere else?
I think so.
なんだ。
あったそれ僕の体です。
なんだって。
僕はこの再開発地区で働いている土木作業ロボットです。
はあ。
100時間労働が終わって帰ろうと思ったら
Damn,
僕の
dude.
一般生活ボディがなく
Worked
な
hard
っ
for
た
that
んです。
money.
じゃあこの体は君の子が。
探してたんです。よかった見つかって。
What?
一体どういうことだ。
You can put your brain in whatever you want, right? Just like the
I guess so.
fighting guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that was them introducing us to that concept then. So Pluto would just rummaging around in a human body.
こちらです。
魂の方向といえば格調高いが、電磁波で電子頭脳の抜けたロボットを遠隔操縦していたに過ぎない。気が済んだろ。お散歩はもういい。戻ってこい。お前の体はこれしかないんだ、ブルート。
Come on, give us the full visual.
命令通りアトムを殺せ。
So I guess we know that he's not a cyborg.
Well, yeah, because he's got an electronic brain. Also,
Yeah.
just oddly, some random construction worker guy has the power over life itself. Because it was his body, so it was his power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just random. I guess it also. Sorry, the entire time you said, "Oh, this guy looks familiar, doesn't he?" Lessons. I was thinking, "God, who the fuck is this guy? Who am I forgetting?" I guess you're just wrong the whole time.
I guess so. Yeah, for a moment he looked like Gilchrist, the detective, but
Oh, I thought you were thinking the first guy who not the first guy, the first human guy who gets killed
Mhm.
because the picture in his room, the guy who pushed the whole robot rights thing.
Mhm.
I thought the picture in his room was like, God, does he look like that guy? Are we implying that maybe that guy came back as a cyborg since we're doing
I
this whole
thought he looked
cyborg
more
thing?
similar to Geshite. I think they had similar
Yeah,
features.
Oh, see, I didn't see that at
yeah.
all. I thought he just had that appearance of the guy's picture on the wall. And I was going the cyborg route with you there for a second, and I'm like, no, this can't be. I don't know what the hell this is. It is my whole thought process this entire time is thinking I'm wrong. Lessons is right usually. Let's go with that, and it
Usually.
threw me.
Yeah, no, but okay. So essentially, Pluto took over the body of this other robot to what? Experience life outside of his commands from his master? Because we know Abdullah wants to reverse all things. He has the same um idea that the anti-robot guys want, right?
Yep.
Well,
He survived the war.
we know he is a cyborg though,
Yeah, he's a cyborg.
or he's claiming to
Uh,
be.
Probably.
He could be full on robot for all we know.
Yeah. So he wants to kill the seven, and then you have the anti-robot people who want to just kill robots. Maybe they're the ones who did the copycat murder.
I think that's the case.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, remember it was a human who did the copycat murder.
No, I gather you that part. Where was the murder? The
I
copycat
don't
murder.
remember. Because they're all over the
He
world.
said he was in
Japan. It was Japan. It was in
yeah,
Japan.
and our
Yeah.
copycat guy, the guy you're saying was a copycat, is in Germany.
Yeah, I know, but I'm thinking that this is an organization that's not exclusive to Germany, right?
Well, I was being very maybe not pedantic, but I was being very exact. You said our guy, and I'm saying our guy never left Germany, so I'm being as exact as I would expect Gishite would be. I think he did it. Well, he never left Germany. I don't know. The guy
It,
in the copycat scenario also wasn't given like any information, right? They didn't say like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, he was part of this group that did this thing, or I think that was just a freaking murder. They were trying to get away with it.
yeah.
Also because he was human, and our anti-machine people are just anti-machine.
The way they introduce Pluto is interesting though, because it makes it very much seem like it's more of a feral state.
Well, yeah, at
Like
the very beginning of the episode where you see the
like an
horns
AI that's
in the mouth.
missing
Yeah.
parts to learn specific things.
Well, just
He's become the embodiment of hatred, right? But is it his hatred or the hatred of his creator that is embodied?
I don't know. He's the embodiment of hatred. He says
Remember
hatred and everything at the very end, but right before the lightning strikes him, he like gives up on it. He's like he has a whole moment of regret for killing
Yeah.
robots and everything, and then the lightning strikes him, and the brain thing gets taken out of him.
Yeah, like I think it's very much a case of he has one directive that's never been subverted, but that was the start of it going something different's coming in.
Plus, he's the one painting those pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe the one that was channeling also the construction, the ability to give life as well.
I don't know. I feel like that has to be built into the robot. Because once we start saying Pluto itself
So
can do that, I
it
feel
did
like
not
we
say
just add a
just say
mystical element.
construction. It said restoration. That's why that worker could possibly have that power.
Right. I just mean it's only to that body, though. It's not
That is no,
inherent
yeah,
to
no,
Pluto.
completely agreed. So you have the one body for the building process
I think the more
and the one
poignant,
body for the recovery process.
I think the more poignant thing about the whole Pluto aspect is the fact that Pluto is having nightmares about this thing in Persia. I guess we're just gonna call Persia for right now.
Yeah, in the Persian War, yeah.
Yeah, the same thing that that child orphan, that orphan child is also having nightmares for it because they both have the same name, Bora.
Do you think this possibly ends with Adam and Pluto fighting Bora?
That's
Could be.
something I literally cannot weigh in on. Again, I know the visuals. I don't know the
Yeah.
story.
Because a lot of the times a series will be the name the name of one of the protagonists.
Bora is a violent cold north wind blowing from the mountains to the east coast of the Adriatic, usually in winter. That is the definition of Bora.
That's
I
right.
mean,
This ends with them
all the
fighting wind.
robots have meaningful names, right? Um, you know, Mont Blanc. Um, well, number so and so. I guess it's because it's just a weapon, right? It's number so a weapon that he was built, but Hercules,
Well,
etc.
well,
Right?
I mean more so. You remember back in episode, was it 1, when I can't remember the name of the only serial killer robot, but he goes over the list of all the names for the gods of the underworld, and that's where we get Pluto from.
Yep.
Yeah.
Even though we could have literally landed on any of the other names too.
Yeah.
By the way, Bora is also an initiation ceremony of native Australians, introducing youths to manhood. That is the two definitions of Bora.
Yeah.
But no, I think it would make sense based off the title of the series that the end of it is Pluto going above its programming and making a choice for itself.
Again, I'm more thrown by the. I don't know how big you can think that thing is because one, we saw it through the lens of a child's memory,
Yep.
and everything is bigger when you're a kid, right? So seeing this thing look up, it's like, oh god, that thing's as big as a mountain. It could have been big as his dad for all we know.
Yeah, but we seeing that some of the robots can get into bigger, like armatures, which are pretty big, right?
Yeah, that's fair. Also, the fact we just also saw that we saw Pluto switch bodies already. But then again, no, wait, because Pluto saw it in its own memory. So you couldn't be outside of your own body looking at a thing. If the concept of you can only inhabit one thing at a time is true, which seems to
That's
be
if
the
this is
case we're working
Pluto's
with.
original body.
Well, then who's piloting it then? Because
I don't know.
Pluto is looking at it, which means that he's not in it.
Could have been a surviving robot, and they took those memories from it. Maybe the reason why he's so effective is he's taking human memories. Could that be a possibility?
Oh, I did have a theory like that from earlier in the episode. I can't remember who it was for now. Somebody that we thought was. No, never mind. That was the dead brother.
Yep.
That didn't apply. That didn't work out.
No,
Yeah,
that's just.
that dude was just
And also,
pulverized. That's the reason why I didn't
yeah.
see him.
Mhm.
That's the
Yep, that
downfall of letting of doing a show don't tell or don't tell, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. That's the downfall of letting us imagine a thing, is that we came up with like 5 different things that could have been really cool, and the dude was just dead. Dude was just dead in
Yeah.
a coffin.
But it kind of answers the question of what memories were destroyed, were taken away from Gearcrest. I don't know.
Shite.
Gershite.
Gearshite,
Gearshite.
yeah,
It's a mixture of
right.
gears and shite.
Gearshite. Because he's not supposed to kill. He probably got the order to kill a human for some reason. We don't know exactly why, and he carried it out, but then had to have his memories erased. And maybe that's why when he went to prison, the other robot was laughing because he knew that.
That
He knew
makes
that
sense.
about him. Yeah. Remember, they can share memories as well. They can transmit memories long distance, right? They can see what other people are seeing, etc.
Yeah, they have to willingly seem to enter into that, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it did seem like
Oh,
the corporate guy from the very beginning knew that they were hiding something.
Yes.
We've invested too much. It seemed like the idea
yeah.
was. I still think I'm right though about that scientist being the guy who created him, though. Because it all seems
He
like
could,
there's like a father figure involvement with all these scientists. Like, I'm not gonna betray my boy.
Nope.
it could be created. It could also be a case where the creator made him and was killed, and then this is just the surrogate father figure and or the maintenance worker.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seems to go well out of his way if he's just the maintenance worker. I'm gonna confront the CEO of the business.
Well, I think he's not the CEO of the business. He's the CEO of Europol. He's the leader
Right.
of
I
the
keep
detective.
calling it a business. I forgot it was Europol. You're right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, once
Technically,
Europol gets
Europol
a
is still
CEO, we're
a
fucked.
business.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was the whole urine thing. Once again, I remember her just showing up in the 1963 version because obviously they don't cover her in the first episode, and that's the
They better not
difficulty.
kill her.
Who
Don't do
knows?
it.
She seems to be some kind of empath. That seems to be her power,
You have
right?
no idea how that works in a robot.
Oh, even Adam doesn't know how to work, and he actually
It
he
has to
knows
be a
that.
pheromone thing.
But it was raining.
Yeah.
Literally, that's the whole. I don't know this as a science. I just know this as a media trope. Like, if there's something in the air, the first thing you can do is activate like a fire, fire sprinkler suppression system or something, because you need to dilute the amount of gas in the air with the water. And apparently, I don't know. Apparently, it's supposed to also work with smoke.
Not really. Not that I know
Once
of.
again, I
I
did
mean,
preface all this with media trope. If this is how I eventually die in some weird real world accident, like, oh no, there's gas in the air, it just didn't work.
no, I don't think it does. I think you can put out a fire, and that will eventually lessen the smoke. But the smoke is already
Well, I
there.
might be wrong
I
about the
mean,
smoke thing, but I think there's
but
a whole thing about diluting the amount of gas in the air with the amount of moisture that's also in the air.
well, yeah. I mean, moisture will tend to bind certain gases in, but it depends on the gas. I wouldn't. It's not guaranteed, basically.
Yeah.
Um,
Well,
poison gas, yes, because it will. It usually comes in droplets, and the humidity will bind it, right?
well, I mean, the
But if it's
concept
not,
here is that the pheromones also travel in that same medium, and it was fairly heavily raining during that time, and she tracked it from what 2 miles away.
yeah.
Distance, I think, is also a key factor in not understanding how this works.
Yes.
I don't think she even understands how it works. She just knows that she has this ability and is testing it out. And he's like, "Oh, you can do that? Okay." Because even Adam is like, that's weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
that's very much the active response of, oh crap, that's a thing you can do? All right.
Well, I mean, yeah, we got hit with two weird powers this episode. One was basically the Genesis device from Star Trek, and then a robot that understands emotions more than we do.
And that's how she found the body of the guy, right? That was supposedly dying, and she gave him the energy drinks and all that,
Well,
right? It's
that
like
would implies that the robots have emotions that outwardly express and what pheromones?
I don't think it's pheromones at all. I don't think because she actually said, I feel something like a small fear, like something
Yeah.
small is afraid. She followed that feeling and found him, and he was dying, and she gave him the drink, and he was like, "Oh, this drink doesn't agree with me," but
That raises more questions than it answers.
it
Yep.
does because all the time this guy didn't have his implant, right?
I'm
Like,
pretty sure it got taken out during the lightning.
no, no, I think that's what maybe it didn't, but
Well,
because
the
if this is
coat was
what,
always up too.
yeah,
Well, he changed clothes. Remember, she gave him bigger clothes, so
and he
assumedly at
had
some point he changed.
well, he always had long hair, so you wouldn't be able to see his back. You only
I
see his back
will
when he falls down, right?
I'll explain the rationale I have here for the lightning, and this is going to be real stupid when I say it out loud. War of the Worlds, the Tom Cruise movie. You remember when the
Okay,
lightning comes down? It's like, oh, those the aliens are coming down in the lightning to go into
Mm-hmm.
the giant mechs. It's the first thing that comes to my mind. Obviously,
Fair
I
enough.
have no idea how else lightning can move anything, so it's just the first thing I come
teleportation.
to. I have no idea.
Hmm.
We haven't seen teleportation in this show, but
Yet.
yeah, I don't think the dude was just being operated. Well, you might be right. They literally say when Professor Abdul shows up at the pond, bog, whatever
Yeah,
it is,
yeah, the
that
pond.
he says Pluto is being controlled remotely by remote electronic signal. So it's entirely possible that he's just controlling this uninhabited body remotely through uncontrolled signal.
Yep.
And so he takes away a body that is empty and experiencing these emotions, and that's Pluto. And then when he sees Adam, he says, "I gotta kill him," but somehow short circuits and leaves, and he collapses. We see that it's empty, and then the other robot shows like, "Oh, hey, you found my body. Of course it's empty. I just left it over there, and I was been looking for it all this time." Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know, because the very beginning of the episode it seems feral, and that's what's throwing me off. Like,
Oh,
because we see the horns at the very beginning of the episode, and then the mouth opened up, and like drooling. It's like drooling everywhere, and it's like I don't.
Oh, so that was probably just like the water draining, because if it was in the water the whole time.
Well, that's reverse explanation. We see it out of the water first, and then later in the episode we see it in the water.
But it could have literally just popped out of the water and opened up
To what end?
for a
scare
cool
the hell out of
visual.
us. Cool visual, yeah,
Well, I mean,
pretty
because it
much.
doesn't need to breathe, obviously, right? So just got out of the water for no reason. Creepy shot. Thought it was cool. Coming back in now.
Yeah,
Even though no one's here watching me, I'm doing this for you, the watcher.
absolutely true. All of us people watching with little bodies and large heads out there in the multiverse see it.
I mean, to be honest, I thought it was like a jaguar at first until we saw the horns coming out. It's like, okay, all these animals got escaped. We saw them all, and now we're seeing some weird dark-skinned creature in the garden, bog, swamp area of Japan. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's a restoration area, so I don't even know what happened to this place. Astro Boy has a long history that I don't know. Again, apparently one of
Depending
his
on the
best
year,
stories is
it
he goes
could
to
have been
space.
a real big drop of something. Because
All
it is
right.
Japan.
Yeah. Well, any final wrap-up thoughts here?
I'm confused. I'm just confused.
No,
Whatever.
not that we didn't talk about.
I mean, technically it was the only episode so far without a fight in it.
Yeah. Well, kind of briefly because one robot got deactivated by another. It's like, oh, I'm gonna go fight this guy. It's like, nope, sit down, take a knee. Don't worry about it. That's it. Fight's over.
All right. Well, this has been another episode of Stoneface Reactions. Once again, I am Theta. One of these people is Lessons, and the other one is Justin. All right. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?